You shot straight, but you shot late. Hi, Living. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm gonna give you the rundown.
Sheriff Waters knows there is still more work to be done to curb gang violence and gang activity here in Jacksonville. He says JSO has a robust gang unit and there are plans to grow the gang unit. He also wants the community to know they are hyper-focused on people who are part of gangs or group criminal activity.
We don't normalize it and we don't accept it. We don't provide excuses for it. There's no excuse to harm someone. There's no excuse to victimize a person. So we're going to do everything that we can to, if it happens, put you in prison for the rest of your life.
The Sheriff's Office have not confirmed with us why they were here overnight, but there are videos taken from witnesses on social media, and it appears to show that police were looking for one of the two remaining suspects in Foolio's murder and eventually took a man into custody. Now, this all comes less than 18 hours after police announced the arrest of 3 other people in connection to the Jacksonville rapper's death. This video shows the moment one of the shooters opened fire on the car Foolio was in. Then the shooters get in 2 cars and flee the area. 3 others were also shot that day, but they survived.
And the kids, please, like, tell them something. I'm talking about the broadcast. Remember right now?
To give an update to some breaking news that we have been following since overnight. We know a man named Rashad Murphy has been arrested. He is one of 5 people wanted in connection to the murder of rapper Charles Jones, aka Foolio. Now, we know 3 were arrested this weekend. There were still 2 out there. One of them, Rashad Murphy, the other, Davion Murphy, who apparently is his cousin. So we do have the sheriff here with us today. Right? You said 5. There's one more out there.
That's
you believe
correct.
You're closing in on him as well?
Yes.
All right. So, Davion, if you're
Shouldn't
watching.
be very long. Just turn yourself in. The best thing, what I would say is turn yourself in. That way we can do this without incident, without any issues. We've been successful in doing that so far.
Right.
Everyone's been brought into custody safely, and that's our ultimate goal, right, to bring them in safely. So I would suggest that you turn yourself in and come to Jacksonville, come to JSO headquarters and turn yourself in and let's have a discussion.
Yes, Tampa police confirmed the shooting happened because of an ongoing feud between a gang called 6 Block, which they say Foolio is affiliated with, and the gangs ATK and 1200. And they say this group worked together to come up with a plan to murder Foolio back in June.
He got called a Doty guns. Bro, load out of here.
He's compliant. Crawl towards me. Bro, come on. Keep crawling. Keep crawling. Crawl towards me.
Drop that book now.
Drop the book.
Close the boat. Close the boat. Close the boat. Close the boat. Don't.
Say man, hey man, it's OG Jucario. Now I'm back at you with another one. And guess what? Everybody's talking about Alicia Andrews, the Foolio suspect, the girlfriend of Isaiah Chance, another suspect in that Foolio murder, right? And they were saying, hey, she has to definitely be the one who was at that party, celebrating with Foolio for his birthday. She had to be one of those chicks, one of those girls that was there celebrating that night, going everywhere they were going and giving the drop, giving the low to the ops of Foolio, right? But according to the documents and the paperwork and the investigative work that was done by the feds and the Tampa Police Department and JSO, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, that's not true, you guys. She did not attend that party of Foolio's. She was not there that night with them partying, you guys. And guess what? The information reads like this. Between June 21st and 23rd of 2024, Isaiah Chance, Alicia Andrews, Sean Gathright, Davion Murphy, and Rashad Murphy conspired to commit first-degree premeditated murder of Charles Jones, better yet known as Julio Foolio, right? And all 5 suspects traveled from Jacksonville, listen very closely, to Tampa on June 22nd, 2024, in 2 separate vehicles to locate and kill Jones in retaliation for an ongoing Jacksonville rival gang feud, right? So how could Alicia Andrews, this girl who they're claiming was at Julio's celebration, right, drinking and partying with him and going to the clubs and things of that nature and that entourage, how could she be at 2 places at one time? That's impossible. So I'm basically letting you know that that's cap. She was not there, you guys. Detectives with the Tampa Police Department, TPD, and Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, JSO, working in close partnership, gathered evidence and developed leads to identify the parties involved in the murder and to make the 4 arrests, right? And a continued focus on arresting the outstanding subject, which happens to be Davion Murphy at this moment because he's still on the run. Now listen very closely, because this is how it all went down, you guys. On June 23rd, 2024, Isaiah Chance and Alicia Andrews tracked and followed the victim and his entourage to 2 separate locations. At each location, they got out of their vehicle and Chance used a cell phone. After the cell phone communication, a second suspect vehicle arrived at each location. Both vehicles then followed the victim and his entourage to the Home 2 Suites located at 11606 McKinley Drive, where the homicide occurred. Wow. At the Home 2 Suites, one vehicle drove by the victim's parked vehicles twice and left. Then 3 armed suspects exited a vehicle and began shooting at the victim's vehicles, killing Charles Jones and injuring 3 additional victims. Based on the investigation, the 3 shooters were identified as Rashad Murphy, Sean Gathright, and Davion Murphy. Charles Jones is documented by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to be a 6-block gang member in Jacksonville. The 6-block gang has a long ongoing feud with 2 other allied street gangs known as ATK and 1200. Isaiah Chance is a documented ATK member. That's what the document says, all right? And Rashad Murphy is a documented 1200 gang member, and Davion Murphy is a documented 1200 gang associate, all right? On the afternoon of July 27, 2024, the JSO SWAT team arrested Andrews and Chance at a residence and arrested Gathright at a local Jacksonville shopping center. The arrests were made without incident, all right? They were transported to Duval County Jail, where they will remain in custody. And this is what the article is stating, and these are all facts according to the investigative work by the law enforcement. Now, the paperwork is out there stating that these same 3 suspects who were initially arrested first for the Foolio murder and named suspects in his shooting, right? Alicia Andrews, Isaiah Chance, and Sean Gathright were arrested a month back before they were originally arrested and named suspects in Foolio's murder, right? Now, Sean Gathright, he was arrested 3 days after Foolio's murder. Now, the paperwork reads this. On 6/26, 2024, I was in the area of New Berlin Road and Dunn Creek Road when I observed a gold SUV traveling at a high rate of speed with dark tinted windows, okay? I activated my emergency lights on my unmarked patrol car and conducted a traffic stop at the corner of New Berlin Road and Sap Road. The vehicle slow rolled at first, and then it came to a complete stop. I exited my patrol car, and I contacted the driver, who identified himself as Sean Gathright via Mississippi driver's license, all right? Sean handed his driver's license to me while I stayed and I spoke with him. During the conversation, I could smell the odor of gas, right? And emitting from the vehicle. I asked Sean if he had smoked and he possessed any of this substance that I smelled. And Sean responded by saying no, right? Then I asked Sean to step out the vehicle, in which he complied. Sean was placed in the back of his own vehicle while the officer conducted a search of the vehicle, right? Inside that vehicle, detectives found a small bag, and inside the bag was a small container that had gas residue, okay? Also inside the bag was a plastic bag with mushrooms. Wow. I then located the black Glock handgun inside the center console. It should be noted that Sean is not allowed to possess a handgun due to his age. In the rear seats of the vehicle where Sean was sitting, okay, there were several bags of ammunition along with several firearm parts and accessories. Sean immediately denied ownership of the firearm that was inside the vehicle. The items inside the car were collected along with 2 cell phones and a MacBook laptop. The items were collected by crime scene detectives on scene, and Sean was taken into custody. And also, along with Sean's charges, he has tampering with evidence. Now, could that come from him sitting in his own back seat where those bullets and baggies and of illegal things were located at? Was he back there fidgeting and fumbling with stuff and trying to hide stuff, scraping and scrambling, trying to get rid of this evidence? Maybe so. Maybe that's how he got hit with that tampering with evidence charge. But anyway, that's what the paperwork reads, and this is on 6/26, just 3 days after the 23rd when Julio was gunned down. Now, Sean was taken into custody and he was let out with an ankle monitor on, you guys. And we all know what ankle monitors are capable of. They can tell your actual location, pinpoint you, and they can also record audio. They can hear everything that you're saying, right? Your whole conversation, recorded the whole time. Now on to Isaiah Chance, another suspect in that Foolio murder. Just 4 days after the murder of Foolio, a day after Sean Gathright was arrested, okay? This is all about Isaiah Chance now. This is what the paperwork says. On June 27, 2024, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office received additional intelligence in reference to a conspiracy to commit murder. June 27, 2024, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office received actionable intelligence in reference to a conspiracy to commit murder. Based on the intelligence obtained by the conspiracy to commit murder, a search warrant was obtained. The search warrant was executed at 2796 Captiva Bluff Road North, right? Detectives arrived at the scene, right? And they were in unmarked and marked police vehicles to execute a search warrant. Detectives has their emergency equipment, red and blue lights activated when they attempted to contact the occupants of the house. Detectives were dressed in black tactical vests with police markings on the front and back, along with the agency insignia. Prior to executing the search warrant, detectives had intelligence that Isaiah Chance Jr., a female, and a baby were inside the house. Once on the scene with the house surrounded, detectives began to give loud verbal commands over the PA system equipped inside of a marked police car. Detectives advised the occupants that were inside of the house that the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office was outside, they had the place surrounded, and that they had a search warrant for the residents and they wasn't going nowhere. Right now, the detectives also instructed the occupants to exit through the front door with nothing in their hands and to have their hands visible when exiting the house. Detectives gave these commands for approximately 15 to 20 minutes before the known occupant, Isaiah Chance, exited the residence. Detectives in the rear of the residence advised that they could clearly hear the loud verbal commands coming from the PA system that was positioned in the front of the house. Once the occupant exited the residence, protective sweeps were conducted and the search warrant was executed. The findings of the search warrant will be documented in another report. Chance is being charged with resisting officers without violence due to the extensive amount of time he spent ignoring the lawful commands to exit the residence. Case cleared by arrest. Detective. Okay, so this all happened with Chance, right? The other suspect in the Foolio murder on June 27, 4 days after Foolio's demise. Now check this out. When they were conducting that sweep of that house, it says that Andrews was identified as an adult inside the residence. Andrews ignored the lawful commands of law enforcement to exit the residence for a long period of 15 to 20 minutes. The arrest was verified by the JSO records, and this is what led her to get arrested and charged also for disobeying the commands to come out of that house for that search warrant to be, conducted, right? And she was booked and charged as well. Now, this is the thing. All three of these suspects, from Sean Gathright, who got an ankle monitor, and guess what? Isaiah Chance, he also got an ankle monitor for his actions. And Alicia Andrews, here she goes with an ankle monitor too, you guys. Now, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I do know this. Anytime you get an ankle monitor on your leg, right? Guess what they can do? They can hear everything that you're saying. It has an audio recording device on it, right? If they know your location, if it tracks your GPS location and everywhere you go when you got on this monitor, they can also listen and to talk to you to give you commands, right, through that device. So were they surveillancing these suspects in the Foolio murder through those ankle monitors, since all three of them mysteriously got ankle monitors, right, a month before their arrest? I'm pretty sure they were honing in and tuning in to everything that these suspects were saying through those ankle monitors. Now that's just, what I believe. It might not be true, but guess what? We all do know that anytime you get an ankle monitor, that's definitely what can happen. Now, according to the arrest records, right, Sean Gathright, who was arrested on the 26th, right, he got out of jail on the 28th. And Isaiah Chance and Alicia Andrews got out of jail, on the 29th. Now, this is very suspicious because, like I said, all of them got ankle monitors and bonds for these minor infractions that they caught, right? And these people let these alleged murderers of Julio Foolio back out on the streets. And obviously this was to gather more information and intelligence, maybe to talk about the murder and monitor them through these ankle monitors, right? To listen to their conversations, to track their whereabouts. Where are they going? Are they going to meet up and talk about the killing of Foolio, right? Where we can surveillance them through these devices. Maybe that's what they did and why they let him out for a whole month, right? Before they decided to rearrest him now for the Foolio murder and officially charge them. Now, that's crazy, you guys, because they did not state this in the press conference. They did not tell us in that press conference that they had these same individuals in their custody for other crimes, right? Now, keep in mind that I told y'all that Rashad Murphy, who was arrested on the 30th of July, right? You seen that go down. He was a suspect in the Foolio murder, right? Now, why does the paperwork for him say he was arrested for no driver's license? No driver's license was ever issued to him. And he has a bond of $358, but no murder charges are pending on that arrest. And it's saying that he could definitely bond out for $358. But you heard that district attorney say that all of these suspects will be brought back to Tampa and, charged, right? Tried for the murder of Foolio. So what are they not telling us? Well, I'm telling you what they're not telling us. So what they're saying is when they went to go arrest Murphy, right? They were giving us false pretenses that they were there behind and only because of the Foolio murder of him being a suspect, right? They named him. Why doesn't the paperwork reflect that? Why doesn't the paperwork reflect that, he was actually charged with murder? Now, the report that I read earlier, right, it states that he's wanted in for premeditated murder, right, conspiracy, and all those charges. But where are those charges at when it comes to the arrest record for the 30th? And the last suspect to be apprehended, Davion Murphy, he's still on the run right now. Will he be captured anytime soon? Well, the footage that I showed in the video, right, you heard that Chief T.K. Waters, he was saying that insinuatingly that Murphy, Davion, is probably somewhere far from Jacksonville. He's not even in the city. From, what the report that he was given is basically telling us that Davion Murphy is somewhere long gone, you guys. Well, that's at least what I get from that news broadcast and interview that he gave. All right. So this is just a quick rundown on things that they didn't tell us, the gaps that they didn't fill in, right? And the paperwork doesn't lie. Okay. So there you have it. What's really going on with the Foolio murder, you guys. Now, when the Julio Foolio investigation kicked off, a detective would make a statement saying that they were going to use all surveillance footage in the area, of that shooting. Homes, businesses, schools, right? And of course, the surveillance video from that parking lot, that Home 2 Suites, where the shooting took place. And it was a Tesla there in that parking lot. And one of the suspects, as you've seen, was right there by that charging station, that electric car charging station, which people are saying that was a Tesla right there that was activated. The recording video feature was activated when noises and movement was made around it. And DJ Academics will take to his live stream to confirm this. According to his sources, he's saying that that Tesla provided some of that video footage of the suspects in the shooting as well. One thing we're still unclear about is how did the suspects drive from Jacksonville in 2 different vehicles and meet up with Foolio's location where he was at? How did they know where he was at? Who gave them the location of the Airbnb that they were at, right? Because it said that they followed them to 2 locations. It had to be the Airbnb and to that club where they went to, right? later on that night after they got kicked out of their Airbnb, right? And then followed them to the hotel. So that would actually be 3 different locations, okay? But who, gave them the info to meet up with Foolio to even follow him, right? That's what they're unclear about. So I didn't know if they, meant that they followed Foolio from Jacksonville all the way to Tampa. But, hey, maybe more information will come out and clear that up. So make sure y'all keep it locked to OG Jucario TV and subscribe to the channel, share the video, and also get you a membership so you can keep up with the content that I'm dropping as I bring you more information in this Foolio investigation. You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spending with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. And say, man, hey, man, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and look, turn on post notification so we can slide whenever I get the drop. You already know what it is, man. It's deeper than Buddha, you hear me? And guess what? I'm gone.